Hi everyone, welcome to the Minecraft team behind the scenes panel. Now, how many of you guys were at the morning panel with Jens and the gang? Well, pretty much everyone, cool. This panel is going to be a little bit more technical. As you can see, we've got some different members of the team here. We've got Michael.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael.
Michael works on Minecraft, of course. We've got Eric.
Hi, everyone.
We've got Tommaso, who most of you met this morning, I guess.
Hello again.
And we've got Shogi, who's a new member of the team who works on Pocket Edition and Pocket Realms at the moment as well. Hi, Shogi.
Hello.
Cool. So to start off, we thought we'd kind of discuss generally how the team comes up with new features and how we iterate upon them and how these things come about. And Michael, you had a cool example of something which you can illustrate that with.
Yeah, I think we can talk, for example, about how the armor stands were created in the game, we started working on them and iterated, and then had
That's it.
and then
Maybe put the mic closer to your
okay. So how we iterated on the armor stands to create the armor stands that you know now. It basically started as an idea I had when I was just playing around with the code a little bit, and then I created something that looked more like a other player that just didn't have any behavior. And I showed it to the team and said, hey, it would be cool if we could just put it in the world and put some armor on it to show it off. And then they started to give me feedback. And I think you were one of the first who said we need to change some things.
I think your first iteration actually already had arms, but an armor stand normally doesn't really have any arms, so we cut them off. But then we kind of wanted to have them back to be able to show them with items in their hands. I guess for the future we're actually going to need to make it be able to dual wield things now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Nathan showed the dual wielding for the player this morning. And I actually already got it working. So armor stands in the future will be able to hold items in both of their hands. And the same is something that we changed for basically all the different entities, all the mobs that have two arms. They can all have something in their offhand, which is, I guess, pretty nice for map makers, for custom maps, where you can have mobs that not just have a weapon in their hand, they can also have something else, like maybe you see the whatever reward you get if you kill a certain enemy, because it already holds it in its other hand.
But I think one of the other things that we started with when we made the armor stand is that it actually had an inventory. So yeah, you have to first open it and then place your items in it. And it felt really clunkily. So I think we pretty much changed it after the first iteration to not do that anymore. And we needed to make some new mechanics so we could actually click on certain parts of it so we could place the helm in the helmet part.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I really don't like, is that so many things in the game need a GUI, where you open a screen, where you have to move things around. So I really wanted to have the armor stands more natural interaction, where you just say, click on the place on the armor stand where you want to do something, like putting an armor on. You just right-click it with the armor in your hand, and if you click on the head of an armor stand, it takes off the helmet and you take it back. So that's a much more natural interaction. And
Shogi and Tommaso, how do you guys go about iterating the new features for Pocket Edition? Do you experiment with them a lot, or do you plan things out first and then implement? What's the strategy?
Yes. I don't know. For example, with the boats, kind of winged it. I started with more or less the actual idea that ended up in the game. I just changed how the oars work, because Jens said it was horrible, because my original idea was to actually have the paddles be shovels. And so basically you would, by rowing, you would run out of shovel and then they could break in the middle of the sea, and that was not that great actually. But yeah, other than that, I guess we iterate a lot though.
Shogi, how do you plan the cool things that you're putting into the game? Do you kind of think ahead and then implement them, or do you experiment a lot?
Well, usually I experiment a bit on paper before starting to code something. Then that's mostly what it goes into the game after asking feedback to other people.
Cool.
But I haven't added some gameplay stuff to the game yet.
Which feature do you think has been, can you think of one which has been the longest in development before we put it into the game? Can you think of something that's been on the back burner for the longest? What might that be? That ended up in the game.
I think one of the features we work really long on is not really a new feature, but the combat changes that we want to have in 1.9,
Yeah.
they take a really long time because it's really important for us in the game to have a lot of iteration. And what that basically means is that we're trying things in many different ways. And even if we feel that something is maybe a lot of fun, we don't necessarily stop there. We might try something else to see if it's getting better or worse. So this usually takes a lot of time. And the combat changes are definitely a huge change that will hopefully change the game in a completely different, new way to survive and fight.
How do the different languages that you guys program in affect how you can implement and change features? I think Jens mentioned the other day that it's kind of easier in Java to see immediately the changes you're making.
With Java, with the current setup we have in Java, that's very easy to do. I'm not sure if the Pocket Edition have the same niceness in setup yet.
There is debug and continue with C++, but it kind of works when, I don't know, half moons, full moons, it's very unreliable. Yeah.
It's very bad when you change the structure of a class.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks for that general overview. Now, I thought we'd move on to Eric's. Well, Eric has kindly prepared a little presentation for us, which goes into detail on block models. So can we get Eric's laptop up, please? There you go.
That was just to test it. So when we, for version 1.8, added the models for blocks, we went over a couple of iterations, and I'm just going to shortly highlight what actually went on when we did it and what is there to come for the next version. So we all know the fence. It is a relatively simple block from first glance. It connects in the four cardinal directions, so to northeast, south, and west. And if you actually look at how it will connect to other things, you see that you have the option that it doesn't connect to anything. That would just be the fence post. You have the ones that just connect to one. And then if you plot out all the directions, you figure out that you basically have to make 16 different shapes. And in the initial version of what we did, that meant 16 different models. And that didn't make us happy at all. So we thought, well, maybe we can do it a little bit smarter. The very initial thought we had is, well, these things are just rotated. So what if we just store all of these variants based on if they can rotate to each other or how many connections they make? And then we were able to group them by the rotation. And then we have this one little odd duck out here that doesn't actually connect in the corner, but still was able to be rotated. So now we only needed 6 models. That was a nice improvement. We also added the block states, which you can actually, if you turn on the debug screen and you look at a fence, then you actually see this information. The way we use this information is that we put it all after each other, and we put it in a string. We change. We just make one set of properties out of it. So if the east facing is connected or the north facing is connected, and then we have this really big file that defines for each of these combinations which model to load, and if we then want to rotate it. And that led us to have 6 different models. And that was a nice idea. But then we still have to have all these variations where when you actually take a look at the model, we have this little fancy side part and the post part. So why can't we just define it like that? And that's exactly what we ended up doing for 1.9. So let's look at what that actually means. We now, for 1.9, are able to say when we want to have a certain little piece of a model show up. So for the when, and then what model would actually show up. So in this case, when the north face is connected, we want to show one of the sides. Of course, we have this 4 times, because a fence can be connected on 4 times. But if you see, it only actually references the model oak fence, and it's just rotated like it was in the current version. And then without any filters, so there's no when definition here, we just say, well, just do the post always. And it basically means that now we just have 2 models to show. And after this, we ended up applying this to all the things that we thought it would be useful for, and we ended up removing a whole bunch of models. Especially the fire one is a little bit special, because I think right now that is the worst block in the game in regards to models. I think it had more than 100, because it needs to be very varying when you look at it, else it gets very, you get a very repeating pattern. So right now we managed to remove over 2, or actually I think it's almost 300 different models from the code base, while still making it look almost the same. And there are some more future small changes we want to do to this format, but that was not for MINECON yet. I have some more information, but I need to condense it down before I can actually show that. So expect that after MINECON somewhere. This does give more flexibility for resource pack makers, because they will have to actually make less models, which in turn should make it a little bit easier for them to do what they want. And they should be able to make more complex models without having to repeat all the different little changes.
And I guess it's not just the resource packs that benefit.
Oh no, I benefit as well, because I can now make a fence with just 2 models instead of making 16, which is very, very useful. It is also fully backwards compatible. So the old way of doing will still also work, and you can actually use it together when you want to when you basically want to lock one thing to one particular shape. So you can do that very easily together. And I think, yes, that is everything.
Oh, thanks, Eric. That was super cool. Round of applause for Eric's presentation. Pretty good. Thank you. That was great. Similarly, Michael has a live demo.
Oh yeah, we are trying this. And
a live demo where we're going to talk about the new end buildings and a mysterious new block type even.
oh yeah, there was the people who follow me on Twitter know about a mystery that they would like to see solved. So what the community called the mystery block, because it was so mysterious, we actually call it the structure block. And if you were in the presentation earlier today, you already saw a little bit of a spoiler about the new generation in the end. Yeah. So this is one example of one of the new buildings, how it could look like in the end. And what the structure block allows us is to actually help us generate these. Oh, thanks. So I'm loading a world now, and this is actually not my word. I stole this from Jens, so some of the secrets might be in there if you look closely. The block I created, the structure block, allows us to create these structures more easily and use them in code. And Jens took them and made these different parts that you might recognize if you saw the structure earlier. So let me show you here's the structure block. And what it actually does is if we place the block in the world somewhere, we can use it in different modes. I should probably just drop one down on the ground and show you how it looks. So you see there's a small D on it. we have 4 different modes for the block. D is the default mode, which just means data. And if I go and open the GUI of this block, you will see that it says data. I can just put in some random text here. The interesting part is that we have different modes on this block. So the most important one is save, which basically allows us to build a structure in the world instead of in code, which is a huge improvement, and then save it to a new file on our drive. So in the past, all the structures you saw in the world, like the villages, the dungeons, everything, was completely generated in code. And it took a really long time to program all this, because you had to have the idea how it looks like and then put it in code. And if you made a small mistake, you had blocks that were a little bit offset. So it's much easier to just build it in the game and then just say, hey, we want this part to be saved as basically like a building block. So one good example is actually the structure I have here. And you see we draw the outline around the structure to make it more clear. So this is one of the parts that is used quite a lot in the new buildings. It was just built in the world, can easily change how it looks. If I wanted to have a new block here, for some reason I could just make it. And then I just go to my save block and can say, okay, save this please. So the data mode that I showed before allows us to mark certain places in the structure. For example, I have a chest here, and I want to be able, when I use it in the game, to fill this chest with loot. So you see we use a special marker here, which is just chest, so that we can easily find it in the code. What's really interesting about this block is that when we actually use it to place structures in the world, and that's something new, we can rotate these structures in any way we want. We can mirror it. So I can just, for example, take this and make sure that it's saved, and then go somewhere else in the world and just try it to see how it would look like. So I use the third mode that I didn't show before. It's the load mode, where I just need to have the name. And the first time I put in the name, it shows me, okay, this is the volume it would occupy. So I can adjust it properly to test it in conjunction with other parts. And then I can actually load it in. So you see we have exactly the same structure that we had first is created here. And what I mentioned earlier, you can rotate it by 90 degree, by 180 degree. We can mirror it. So let me just rotate and mirror this and load it in. And you will see now we have the same structure, basically, but it's rotated, it's mirrored, it's in a different position. So the last mode of the block is not really so exciting. It's what I call corner block. It's just making it easier to actually measure the size of a building. I can just put, let's say I put corner blocks on all sides of a building, and normally I would have to put them into corner mode. I'm not doing this now, just for demonstration. So I put them on top, on the sides, and on the bottom. And then I could just say, okay, measure the volume inside. So I don't have to put in the numbers. I don't know exactly how big it is. It will just measure it. Okay, this is the volume I need, and that I store. Yeah, so this is basically how we made all the new structures in the end, and it will allow us in the future to add new exciting dungeon structures, anything like this, much easier and faster to the world. And I know this question might come up. Why are we not putting this block in the game? It's not a definitive answer that we're not putting it in the game. It will not be in 1.9. We're still discussing if it might be useful later to have it in the game, but right now it's a very technical block that we use internally. and it doesn't really have many applications without access to the code where you can actually use these things. So if we find a nice and useful way to make it usable for everyone, it might still be something we have in the game in the future. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Michael. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. That was awesome. Now, we thought we could talk a little bit, and I know this is something that you guys can get quite passionate about, and that is what tools you use and why. So, woo! So, first of all, let's start off with some very simple things. So, the PC version, what code is that written in? I know this, but you know.
PC version is in Java. Everybody knows that, and we are using IntelliJ and or Eclipse. Everybody has their preferences, and we actually usually try not to limit it to a certain tool. If it's possible to make it that we can work with different tools, then everybody should use the tool they are most skilled in or familiar with.
Cool. And Tommaso, what's your take on Java?
Pocket Edition is made with C++ 11 and maybe sometime soon 14. And it kind of can build everywhere, but we mostly use Visual Studio 2015 now to make it. And it can also be built with Xcode, but we tend to avoid Xcode because it's Xcode. So that's it, I guess. Oh, and also C Lion.
Yeah, I use C Lion on Ubuntu. So I'm full Linux, no Windows.
Okay, so I mean, do you want to go into more detail about the actual specific tools you've used and why they're your favorite ones? Like, what about for making art and stuff? You guys make the art in the game.
You really don't want me making art. I can't pixel my way out of a plastic bag. That's horrible.
But what would you use if you had to pixel?
I needed to do some images for this, and I used GIMP, and it worked, but it took a lot of time for me to figure that out.
Yeah, but Nathan offered you to do it in Photoshop, I think. So also with art, it's the same. We're just using the tools we're most familiar with and what gets us the results easiest. Or if we don't know the tools, we just use whatever we find.
I think Jens uses Paint.net occasionally, you as well. And,
oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
I think I've seen someone actually use Paint too.
Nice. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of using Java over C++? And the other way around,
Do we
of
want
course.
to get into this now? Like it's.
I thought it'd be a great thing to get
battle
into.
Yeah.
I think Marcus once upon a time used Java because his initial goal was to do it in the browser, very easy accessible. However, Java doesn't really work so well on very power-limited devices, I think.
Yeah.
So like a phone or a HoloLens, that it would be a little bit too uncontrollable to run Java there.
Yeah, C++ is, by many accounts, it's an old language because it does a lot of old things, even though like you can try to steer clear of them. But it's still very good because it forces you to think about, I think, memory, how memory is laid out, like how the processor accesses the cache, and other things like that. So like, and it does a lot of stuff at compile time. So you get these famous zero-cost abstractions sometimes.
Yeah, the only downside is that you have to actually compile it for every single target platform, where Java has slightly less of that issue, except for the libraries.
Yeah, Java I think it actually has a problem because it's kind of ironical that C++ actually runs really everywhere, because Java, it runs everywhere as long as someone bothered to make a virtual machine for it, but now that's actually really a small set of devices. So yeah.
Cool. I guess I should stop that there before it gets too heated.
Yeah.
Good. Cool. Okay. Eric, You have been working on a new launcher for the OS X version of Minecraft. Why and what and how is that?
Yes. One of the things that comes with Java as well is that it upgrades faster than we use the new language features, and it's mostly because we didn't really have a way to ship the game, to ship Java with the game. On Windows, we have actually already deployed a launcher that can actually update and download Java for you. That makes it much easier, and it seems that, well, most people that will, actually everyone who gets it now will get that version, and there seems to be very few problems with it. However, on Macs, that's not the case yet. So until we actually can and want to use Java 8 or even 9 when it comes out, we really need to get some work on that. Luckily, we actually started on that. We actually are starting working on that, so hopefully this year, can I say that? I mean, that is
Soon?
Yeah, soon. We hope to actually be able to also offer that, and that means that we can actually start using Java 8 for the game as well, which will give us quite some benefits. And I think many of the modding community are looking forward to this for a long, long, long time already.
Oh yeah, we're getting this request all the time.
Cool.
I mean, we really want to use Java 8 as well. I mean, it would really speed up a lot of the things that are really cumbersome in the older versions, and so we're not just doing it for you guys, but also for you.
That's mostly for us, by the way. I just want to use the new fancy stuff.
Nice. Tommaso,
Yes.
let's talk about UIs and your take on that. I've heard that you've been fiddling around with Pocket Edition and the way that the user interface works in that.
Yeah. So basically, we always kind of hated the UI in Minecraft because it's a huge mess. I mean, I posted that. No, I don't have that image anyway. But oh, this is secret code. Don't look at that. But so it was a long time that we really wanted to do it because the way we were doing it before was basically we had a bunch of code and every button was placed by hand in every single case, and that was very time consuming. I mean, sometimes we actually decided to not go for a feature because it would require 2 screens instead of 1, or stuff like that. So I think that's kind of horrible when that happens. So we basically, now that we ported the game to Windows 10 as well, we needed to support controllers, mouse and keyboard, and also touch at the same time. So we took the chance to actually remake everything and burn everything to the ground, which is very fun. So basically, oh no, I need the screen now. Okay. So basically now the new UI is all based on JSON. So this is kind of like HTML, but for the game. So every screen has its own file that defines the structure. And so yeah, it can kind of those cool things because, okay, now it's building. So this is the problem with C++. Now we can stare ourselves in the eyes. Okay, it works. So now basically it's all, yeah, thank you. You're a great microphone holder. Okay, so basically say you want the title to be removed. You just can go, no, that's the entire panel. You can just go, delete this, save, and go back, and it's not there anymore. So that's, or like say, oh no, actually, thanks. Say you want to place a lot of splash texts. Damn it. There you go, like it, and it also refreshes when you want. And so basically, this was something I tried, like it's all broken. If you see, there is like that slots are not very nice. I tried to basically apply the same concept to the in-game controls. So the entire GUI is made with JSON as well, just as a menu screen. So you can change it as you want. For example, say you don't like the hearts on the top, or like you want them on the right for some reason. It's pretty easy to yeah, thanks. It's pretty easy to switch them. You just like you can align everything in various ways. So there, and it switches the two things. So I also split. I was also in the process of splitting up everything. So the oxygen, the hunger, the hearts, the armor are all different things. So the idea is that you can have like generic controls that you can bind to an attribute, so that you can like show anything of your character on screen if you want. And it's really, or you can move around the jump button, the crouch button. Like there is no D-pad, but that's like okay. But so yeah, it was. We did it because it was needed, but maybe in the future it will be cool to let people use this as well to define their UIs. But yeah.
You mean define the UIs through a resource pack, right?
Through resource packs, through resource packs that we don't have, but at some
In the
point,
future.
yeah, soon.
Cool, thank you. Shogi. How's it going? Are you checking Twitter, Shogi?
No. I have like a few, well.
Shogi,
it's
you
not
have been involved in bringing Realms to Pocket Edition. And people were very excited about that when we mentioned it this morning. Can you go into some detail about how you have been implementing it and some of the difficulties you might be getting and how it feels?
Yeah, well, Realms is coming to Pocket Edition on Windows 10, and they are going to be able to play together. We have been working lately on splitting the server and client as PC did, and that is going to help Realms to work better. We are also bringing online authentication for Pocket Edition. That's something that was very requested. It's going to work on our online servers, like the external custom servers that exist right now. They are going to be able to use online authentication as well. And I think I forget something. It's there, I can't access it. I already say so.
That's cool. Shogi, people keep mentioning this thing to me. Yeah, this thing called Pocket Mine.
Oh, Pocket Mine.
What's Pocket Mine?
So you want to go there? Well, I got hired by Mojang because I was working in Pocket Mine. It's a custom server software implementation for Pocket Edition. It's written from scratch. And yeah, I had fun working on the protocol. I'm trying to do that now on Pocket Edition and trying to bring a better protocol that uses less bandwidth and works but works better. So yeah.
Cool. Nice. Tommaso, would you like to talk a bit more about the Redstone implementation on Pocket Edition? You mentioned it this morning, so maybe you don't want to go back into that, but...
Well, yeah, I can say something that is very in flux right now, because I mean we are thinking about it, but it's still not. I mean, there is something that looks good now, but it's still kind of undecided. But yeah, so the idea is that since the Redstone tends to be it's all based on like block updates and a lot of iterations that basically you cost a lot of resources and not always generate like deterministic results. So like stuff can have different results depending on how you actually like this. Well, a lot of things really. So the idea is that we were trying to see if it was possible to make a generic transporter, consumer, and producer system that can be reduced to basically be compiled down to some expressions that are deterministic. So like, say you can see an entire circuit of Redstone, like in, I don't know, VHDL. You can see it as some inputs and some outputs that are the blocks that use or that generate a signal or consume a signal. And then all of the connection between them can be abstracted into just a graph, basically. So the idea is that with this system, if it pans out, we will be able to run Redstone on pieces of words that are not loaded. So like you can have your huge computer stay there and just like calculate without anyone being near or something like that. So the thing with this is that we're trying to, we will probably ask your feedback at some point, because we in the process we are trying to kind of remove a lot of what is bugs, but a lot of bugs are very used by people. So we need to kind of we need to understand what is bugs and what is features at this point, because it has been the biggest problem right now, like understanding what Redstone should actually do. Yeah, so that's it. But maybe I don't know when we will know more if it's good or not.
I'm especially hoping for it because when I implemented the structure block, that was one of the main issues I had to fight with, is that we have so many side effects, especially from the Redstone implementation, that made it really hard to make this work for all our cases.
Cool, awesome. Well, that's all we had prepared to discuss, but we're going to open the floor up for questions now. So if you've got a question for one of the devs, please line up over there in an orderly queue, and we can work our way through them. We've got around 15 to 20 minutes left, so.
Yeah, absolutely. The only issue is going to be for you again.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, first question, please, if you're ready.
I've got two questions. The first question is, so you're releasing a Windows 10 version of Minecraft, but Windows 10 is also an OS, so couldn't you just get the PC version instead of having its own version?
Yeah, I mean, it has got its own version, but it's a kind of, it's more closely related to the Pocket Edition version, so you can play with like phones and tablets and cool stuff like that. So it gives players another option and different way to play Minecraft, basically. So, I mean, would you guys agree with that?
Also, like for example, since it's a universal app, I mean, for example, it's already working on the HoloLens as well, while it didn't really run the Java version. So it kind of runs everywhere. That's the reason.
But I mean, you can still, for sure, you can absolutely still play, the Java version of Minecraft on Windows 10. There's no problem there.
And my second question is, it's kind of part A and part B, so it's technically three questions. But so part A is, so you said that there's going to be like controller support for Pocket Edition, so like PS4 controllers and stuff like that. Well, that part A is kind of a statement, but anyway, part B is, sorry. The question for part A is, will controller support be in 0.12.0?
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, I think we still need to make the mapping screen to map various buttons, but I guess, yeah, that's the idea, yeah.
And part B is, do you have a specific release date for...
Soon.
No,
soon.
Soon.
Soon, again,
we kind
soon.
of had, but as usual stuff goes forward, happens, so yeah,
But we have already actually seen Tommaso play in the office with the controller in his dev environment.
Actually, if you want to play O12, you can just go at the Microsoft booth, because it's the thing they have on the surfaces. So yeah, it's kind of done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
When is the next snapshot coming out?
Boom.
What exactly is a snapshot?
We haven't heard of those. We haven't heard of those for so long.
Okay,
Yes,
and
no, that's
I
why I
think-
asked the question.
I think we're not going to say soon, because that gets a little bit old already. We are planning to do it really, just maybe 1 or 2 weeks after MINECON, but I can't make a definitive promise, because, as I said before, the combat update changes are really one of the biggest changes we are making in the game for a long time. And the problem is we can't really release anything before this is at a state where you can at least fight monsters again, because it would be the most boring snapshot in the world if the monsters just killed you and you didn't have a chance to defend yourself.
It's a snapshot.
Okay, thanks. Cool.
So hi guys. By the way, I think it would actually be pretty interesting to try to kill the mobs not by combating them. But my question is, with the structure block you just mentioned, I am pretty sure that many people in the modding community and the map making community would say that these blocks would be very handy, not just for the developers, but especially the rotation and the mirroring feature. How about adding that to command blocks? Oh, sorry.
I didn't say that rotation and mirroring is not coming to command blocks, did I? So it is kind of a natural thing to offer this as an option in the clone command, which we already have.
That's what I thought of, because you already implemented it now for the structure.
Did this answer your question?
Yes, it sounds like you're going to add it, and that sounds amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.
It might not be in the first snapshot, but it's going to be there.
Okay, thanks anyway.
So my question is, why is it so hard to fix lighting system, and when can you fix it for PC version?
The lighting system.
Yeah. So you mean the black spots in the world, I guess?
Yep.
Yes. I guess it is because it is really tangled in the code. And when we generate a chunk for the first time and we put all the blocks in, we actually don't do any light updates because when we turn that on, the generation of the world slowed down by factor 10. And it made you wait really, really, really long. And we tried to make it faster and still correct, and that didn't really turn out so well when the 2 or 3 times Nathan and I tried that. So we still want to give it a good shot. And hopefully soon, when we do some more changes, we get another chance to take a look at it. But it's a hard problem to solve because it's just very heavy to actually calculate.
If you find really nasty spots where it still happens, please send me the seed and the TP coordinates, because I took a step on it last update, tried to fix it. I thought I got it all. So if you still find places in the world where it doesn't work, I would appreciate it.
And just the second question would be in terms of the shaded mods that we have from the community. I heard that that will be added to Minecraft by you guys. Is that true or is that not? And within that, as you said, kind of shaded mods are being great. They look great, and they don't need such chunk updates as you were talking about. So I'm kind of confused about that.
We actually were on the way of actually adding that, but the person who was in our team who did that sadly left the team. So it's a little bit of a standstill right now because we have so many other things we're working on. But it's definitely something that we see added to the game in the future because we want to be able to use it as well. It requires us redoing how we use the underlying technology completely. And that was the hard part. And I think the blocks are pretty much ready for it, but the entities definitely are not.
I think the blocks are ready, the entities are not. And one issue we have with it is also we need to drop support for older OpenGL versions. And we are always looking at our snooper data to see, are we already at a point where we don't disappoint too many of our players if we basically break it on their machines, which might be old, but they might have reasons to play it on their machines. So it's a little bit, we see it from both sides. We want to have it as soon as possible, but we also don't want to break the game too early.
Thanks. Cheers.
Thank you.
Hello, I was going to ask about the mobs of Minecraft. Sorry. Could you, the horses, they have different skins and stuff. I was wondering why haven't any other creatures in Minecraft got any changing skins and such, like the horses do?
It's a pretty good question.
Oh, should we spoil another secret? Okay.
Do it. Yeah.
I actually recently got a nice collection of new textures for a lot of our animals in the game from one of our artists. And she asked us if we have time to add it to the game soon. And I was actually planning to do it during our snapshot phase when we work towards the 1.9 release. And it's even a secret probably in the team because we didn't discuss when we want to do it, but I just decided, hey, we have the graphics, we have the cool things, it is not much of an effort, so we will have more variety there very soon.
Thanks.
Great question.
So on the modding API, is the idea pretty much dead, indefinitely delayed, or soon?
Plugin API. But so the reason you're not seeing anything right now is because we don't think we could produce something that is better than Forge is right now on the current code base. So then we might as well not have two things doing exactly the same thing. Every change we are doing to the game is actually a step towards it. So we started with splitting up the server and the client, then adding the ability to stitch the block textures together rather than having separate sheets. And all the mods are actually using these pieces of technology that we provide as well. So slowly people are now going to be using the models. Hopefully with 1.9 there's going to be a little bit less of friction there. So everything we're doing, we're basically trying to get to a point where we get to a nice system where we can do things asset-based and then start work on the actual code as plugins as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So with the new models in 1.9, is there going to be a way that players can eventually choose which parts of a model they use? So they can, in a way, use parts, for example, a fence post, instead of using the post, have only the bit of fence as a kind of a block?
Not for 1.9 yet, because that actually requires a world format change. I have a branch that has that already, but that's, it's a very, very, very experimental thing that I'm working on. But yes, that is indeed the intention, that you can basically just place a fence that just sticks out to one side even though there's no block there. That would be very nice for all the map makers, and it would allow you to do so many more things, but we need to change how the worlds are stored for that, and that's a very big task to take on for now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello. When you get an idea, can you just work on it and like your free time, or do you have to go through like a process of asking management to kind of implement it?
We just wildly work on it, and I think I have 200 branches in my local repository, and most of them will never see the day of light, but there's always useful things that you can reuse, and yeah. And you just show basically just the people that sit around you, and you talk about it. And in the meetings we have, we basically go over ideas and we iterate on it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi. Has the Windows 10 and HoloLens version been built with modding in mind?
No, I mean, since it doesn't run on Java, there is no mod API right now. And anyway, I mean, it's really, it is a very custom version now, for now. So we're trying to kind of make it the same version, but it's still like very, very far in the future.
It have to be in a different language, what is it, C or something, C# or something. But so I know it's not the same as the Java version, but can you basically do the mods in, say, C# and, eventually?
Maybe, I don't know. We've been thinking about stuff like that, but we didn't definitely decide on any language or anything. I mean, actually the language is the last thing you choose, kind of. But yeah, I don't know right now.
Thank you.
The long-term goal is that you have the same game and the same experience on all the platforms. So also, one of the most requested features is that different platforms can play together with each other, like Xbox joins a Pocket game or something. So that's basically what we're working towards with all these changes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello there.
Hi.
I would like to ask two questions. I would like to ask about the old mentioned feature, the Red Dragon. Is that ever coming? Is that ever happening?
Red Dragon.
The Red Dragon? How do people... I don't know how the Red Dragon came into existence, but...
The Welsh brought the Red Dragon into existence.
I think somebody mentioned it at some point in time, and then everybody started talking about it.
I guess if we do alternate skins for other mobs, then theoretically it might be possible to do an alternate skin for a dragon as well, but I don't know. We haven't actually planned anything for it right now.
I thought it was a tameable dragon.
That would be very nice, but it
Sounds
would,
cool.
I think, right now also destruct a lot of the world when you would fly it through a city or so.
The second question is, why not add birds into Minecraft and have like bird song during the dawn?
That would, oh, it works. Okay, that would actually be pretty nice, I guess, to have birds and stuff. Just more, I think, ambient mobs would be great. But right now yeah, that's actually a technical topic. Like our model system, our model format is not a model format for entities. So we're also thinking about having something similar to the block models for entities, so we can like start adding all of these nice animated mobs faster, because now it's really painful. But yeah.
When it comes to features, it's always like, if somebody is interested in working on some feature and does some kind of prototype and other people like it, it's more likely to be added to the game. So as soon as somebody starts playing around with birds, it's very possible they are coming to the game shortly after.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we've got time for maybe three more questions. 3 questions.
I was just wondering about your structure block, and like when you could save it to a file. I know you were originally planning just so that you could build the structures for the actual generation of a world, but it would be cool if you're doing like some build in creative mode, or if you're doing an adventure map, if you could just use that to save to the world file, so it would so that it would just so that when you could load it up and it would just stay inside of the world folder, and you could just load it up in a different place. Like if you wanted to copy something more easily than running the clone command in a command block or in your command interface.
Okay, I don't know, did I leave my notebook with my ideas somewhere? Did you read it?
Yeah, well,
it's definitely something I was thinking about for the future, but it's too early to talk about it because in 1.9 we will not have it accessible to players for several reasons, as mentioned before. And this is definitely one of the interesting use cases that would make it very useful for everyone in future versions. So you're very close to some ideas I wrote down with your suggestion.
Yeah, great question. Okay, we've got just 2 more questions left.
Okay, the shell lurkers, you said that they were going to be in teams. At the other panel with new features.
I think Jens mentioned that you could team them up, couldn't you? So they kind of work together. Yeah.
Will you be able to do that with other entities as well?
I think any entity can be added into a team, so yes, you can do that.
Yay.
One of the things that doesn't work for all entities is they don't necessarily attack entities from other teams right now. But apart from that, you can already add them to teams.
Hi, last question.
Hi, what are your current plans for custom entity models and resource packs?
What are the plans for entity models and resource packs?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing I said before. That's something I would personally like a lot, but it's been always kind of difficult. Actually, we are close to the point where we can do that on Pocket, because we have it's based on OpenGL 2 now, so we can actually do hardware skinning and have proper skeletons, and well, that would be really nice for optimization. But in terms of resource packs, I don't know. It would be really nice.
It's not something we could expect to see in the snapshots.
No, you're not going to see this as snapshots anytime soon, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all we've got time for, folks. But thank you very much for coming along. Yeah, have a great rest of the day. Cheers.
Thank you so much to the Minecraft team. Another panel bursting with information.
The mystery block is revealed.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah, and obviously then fine, it's more questions and more questions and more questions, and we go deeper and deeper.
Ending questions.
Oh, some of those kids were so cute, though. The young lad with the longest question in the world.
But they're this big, and they're asking questions that are just like, even for me, like, phoom, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, questions that would stump a coder. They're going, no.
It's
You've not thought
comforting,
about this
though, isn't
correctly.
it?
You've not thought about this right.
It's comforting. The future's in safe hands if you've got kids that
It's
age
true. It
asking
is
questions
true.
like that.
Yes.
It makes me feel assured, for sure. It's that time of day, I guess, where we've come together again. We've been going our separate ways all day. We're back together, which is nice. So, Julia, first of all, you had an amazing chat with Greg Aronovich, our MINECon 2015 designer.
Seriously, I could have honestly sat here for about 4 hours.
Really?
He literally went through all the films he'd worked on. And
Go on,
it was
give us
like,
some.
Okay, so Minority Report, like one of his first jobs for Spielberg was like Indiana Jones. He's done stuff with like Jurassic Park, like just like every
Everything
big.
brilliant.
This Terminator 2, which is on TV
No.
last night as well. And I was like, I've got so many questions, but I
He's
feel a
had
bit.
such a dull career, hasn't
I
he?
know. Well, just also you're just a bit like. How is it? I was like, please tell me you didn't start with Indiana Jones because I'm going to cry. And he was like, no, I did some rubbish films before.
Right.
I was like, thank God.
And what is, a guy who's worked on Indiana Jones, what's his take on MINECon 2015? How is he finding it?
He's absolutely loving it because you'd sort of think like, why, if you were kind of involved in kind of doing kind of set design and like, all these kind of big ideas and props and stuff for like these huge movies, like, why would you come here? And I was having this sort of discussion, but Minecraft is...
It's a very similar thing, I'd say.
But it's huge.
Mm.
Like, you think how big these movies are, Minecraft is bigger.
Yeah. And
It's bigger
also
than that.
MINECon is, it's the scale of a big movie, wouldn't you say? We've got lights, we've got sets. So it's very similar in that respect.
No, absolutely. But
Yeah.
you're kind of, it's like from the moment you come in the door, everything. Like
Sure.
it's all kind of worked together. It's not sometimes, I think you work on like little pieces, I guess, when you work on
Yeah.
films. And there's a little bit here, like, I've got friends who do kind of like sci-fi stuff and like, oh, I worked on the hands of Brad Pitt or something in one particular movie. Whereas this, it's like he's had to do the whole kind of, the whole thing. And it's incredible.
Oh, you
And
lucky thing. I'd love to have chatted to him.
I did say, like, how does it feel to know that you've made 10,000 people's jaws drop? Because that really is what you get when you come in the door here. It's just like, this is like the dream convention.
Yeah.
I've been to so many, and they're always a bit like, like sometimes like for Skyrim, Bethesda would have like a big dragon on their stand at E3, something like that. But it would always be kind of really, these are the guys and this is their stand. And because it's all kind of uniform and together and it's kind of got this whole kind of overarching thing, it just feels so magic. Like really magic.
Sounds like you had a good chat.
I had such a good chat. I really want to bring him back. Where is he? Greg, come back. I want to talk more stuff. Greg, where are you?
Matty, you were chatting to the man of the moment, the Diamond Minecart, Dan TDM.
Wow.
How was Dan? I'm guessing he was tired.
He trolled me the whole way through the interview.
Really?
He just
That's
kept
not like
going,
him.
Kappa, the whole way through the interview.
Right.
Wouldn't say anything else.
He's not a very nice person, is he?
No, not so.
It's not professional.
No,
He's kind of the opposite,
You know
though,
what?
isn't
He
he?
was lovely. He's been really busy while he's been here. He's been trying to meet as many people as possible. He's been doing panels. He took time out from his preparation for his big afternoon show that he's doing on stage.
Oh,
to
yeah,
come and
that's
chat
coming
to
up
us here.
soon.
Yeah, very soon.
It sounds like he's got a lot planned. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of the custom maps that he builds for shows like this and Insomnia and other shows like that, but he puts so much effort into them and it really pays off for him on stage and with the crowd reactions because it's done, it's complete, and it is an interactive adventure. And I think we're going to see later on the stream.
Did he give you any kind of? Did you try and like get some hints out about what's going to
Yeah,
happen?
he
so
said
that we
things
can
were
kind of tease
topical and
everyone?
relevant, and there's all sorts going. But he didn't want to give away too much.
I wonder if it's MINECon 2015 based. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? If he somehow built
You should have Paxmaned him.
MINECon.
You should have forced him to answer questions.
Yeah.
Like
I
just
know.
repeat the
Pinned him down.
question. Repeat the question.
You could have got him in a
General
headlock.
Messed his hair up then. He wouldn't like that.
True. He has got great
They really
hair.
are. The one thing you do kind of notice, hang around with, I think a lot of people kind of forget with YouTubers is, they have this huge notoriety, like really, really popular. And I think people kind of only see the success bit, like, oh, these guys just make a couple of videos and then they're really famous. And I don't think anyone really realizes just how much effort and hard work
Sure.
it takes to kind of get to these points. And then not just that, when they have to come to like events like these and they purposefully come to meet the fans, there's no like, any real benefit if you think in a kind of financial sense to come here. It's literally just for the fans to kind of pay them back for kind of supporting them, and they will not run off. They will stay till the bitter end, signing pictures. And there are other celebrities that you would see that would not. They'd be like, right, I'm doing an hour.
10 minutes. He'll do 3 hours.
Yeah,
like yesterday,
quite happily.
he was saying yesterday he was walking through the convention trying to have a little look around with his missus, and he got sort of stuck there. And we said, oh, we just saw Dan, didn't we? Do you remember? We saw a queue of people.
Yeah.
He was there for 3 hours signing autographs.
Oh.
Because we went off and we were doing a load of other stuff, and then we came back. We're like, he's still down there. He's still signing
there,
stuff,
yeah.
and like that's respect for your fans.
Oh,
And that's really
he's
amazing.
a good guy. He is a good guy. And of course, yeah, on the main stage pretty soon he'll be doing his live run through, which is
if
always
you're
great.
Thinking
as
about
we said,
dropping out of the stream, don't stay with us because
stick with it.
It's going to be good. I've been told in my
weird. I'm being told we're all being told the same thing. Obviously, Dragnos is out on the floor. He's got something to talk about. Should we go over to Dragnos?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's see him.
Hi guys, we back again. Now, we whispering because
amazing news.
Something very cool is going to happen.
We're going to see it live.
A very special young lady.
It's going to be great.
Yes.
Okay.
Right,
Well, there's a golden ticket. Okay, and we're going to see the girl who's been chosen to receive this amazing golden ticket, which gives them exclusive opportunity to have a go with the HoloLens.
The Microsoft
Yes, the
HoloLens.
HoloLens, amazing.
Yes. So she doesn't know. And this is, how many tickets were there? How many? One out of
25.
25 out of
Only
10,000 people.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
this
go
is
see
like
it.
phenomenal odds. Okay. This man over here.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. This is amazing.
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, it's so cool.
You're going to get an opportunity. Like, I'm not going to get this opportunity. You're going to get this opportunity. Amazing. Cool. Well done. Well done. Amazing work. Fantastic.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm here with Matthew. So, Matthew, you decided to wish to come to MINECON. What made you choose this as your wish?
Well, because it's the only way like I can meet my favorite YouTubers since it's so close to where I live. Well, it's kind of far away, but still, it's really close, and it's a good opportunity to meet all my favorite YouTubers here.
That's awesome. So, what's been your favorite part of MINECON so far?
Probably just meeting all the YouTubers, and everyone around me is just being really friendly.
And what type of player would you say you are in the Minecraft world?
A noob.
A noob?
Even though I've been playing it for 2 years, I think people are much better than me, so I'm still working some stuff out. Because when the updates come, I still need to work more out, and yeah.
Actually, I would say I'm probably a noob too then, because I still die all the time every time I play. So that's good. I'll say that I'm a 4-year Minecraft noob. So what are you excited about today?
Probably the closing ceremony and Small World.
Nice. So you're going to go on a tour of Small World in a couple minutes and see it all yourself. You're excited about that?
Yeah, because my group's going into Small World to see what it is before everyone else gets here.
Awesome. Thank you so
I
much.
think some of the YouTubers are coming too.
They might be there. Thanks, Matthew.
Thanks, bye.
Hey guys, I'm Lydia and I'm here at the Expo Hall, and we're gonna walk around and see some awesome stuff at MINECON 2015. So let's go see what we can find in here. Right now we're entering the London Park. So what we decided with MINECON is we'd have basically the real world gets Minecraftier, so that's all of the booths. And then we decided, what if London Park came into that world and then had Minecraft Carnival in it? So it's very many stages in this expo hall of different things. You have trees that look like squares, and then when you walk in this zone, it's all as if you were in London, but it's being taken over by our mine park, so our sort of Minecraft Carnival or what have you. We will now exit the mine park, and then we once again enter the real world, being taken over by, well, by ender dragons, by huge blocky trees, and kind of just the Minecraft world seeping in. Hello, guys! So we're gonna walk over to the Microsoft booth and see what they have to show here at MineCon today. I really love, well, I saw all the designs for everything early, but I really love how they incorporated the colors of the logo, but took them into the Minecraft world. So let's go see what that looks like. Hi, guys. Good morning. We have a very clearly blocky theme, which obviously works very well with the game. And this green section here, you can come on in. We have a lot of people playing Minecraft. Hi guys, having fun? Yes, awesome. All the different blocks have tons of people. Here's Jesse, you want to say hi?
Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the Win 10 booth.
So what are you guys showing today?
Today we're showing the Windows 10 edition of Minecraft that has been announced at the show, and we are very excited to have a bunch of people trying out new things. There's our beta starts July 29th on Windows 10, and it'll be available pinned right from the start menu as you download Windows 10.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jesse. We're going to keep looking around. They've been giving out some awesome Creeper shirts around here. The Creeper Big Ben. I'll have to get one of those myself later. So when we're walking into this section, we have the blue area. We have lots of diamond going on. We have lava in that corner over there. And then over here, we have the skins of Stampy Cat and Squid. Hi!
Hi, you're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Hi, world.
Hi, world, from all of us. Thank you. So as we walk around, you'll see that we have Xboxes set up for people to play in the different areas and just basically come in, having fun. It kind of looks like a really big party with couches and everyone's playing together, so it's super awesome. And on this wall behind Stampy and Squid's skin, there's actually a green screen, so you can get a photo taken. Maybe we should do that, actually. Let's see. Can I get my photo taken, please? Can I get some? Do you want to be in the photo with me? So where do we go? Oh, that's awesome. Where do we go around to grab it?
So if you just go here to the left, see Luke in the yellow shirt. He'll print
Okay.
it out for you.
Ooh, let's go get a printed picture. Come on. Let's go. Hi, Luke. We're supposed to get our printed picture from you.
Hello. Hi.
So,
from me. Oh, okay.
yes, from you, maybe.
You get your pictures there, but I can
Oh,
send them on email to you.
that's Luke.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm Matthew. I thought you were calling me.
Out of the two of you, there were only two of you standing here, so I just assumed you were Luke, but that's Luke.
That's
Oh,
Luke.
well, what's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew. Well, thank you for being here, Matthew. But you can email the photo to us?
Yes. Is this your photo here?
Awesome. Yes, that, is that it?
you
Yep,
can
that,
Instagram,
that
Twitter,
looks like
Facebook.
us.
Okay, if you want to put your email in.
Awesome. Can we put more than one?
Yeah, just put a comma between
Let's
them.
do it. Let's not show the world our email addresses. Oh, and I'm not even spelling mine correctly. Would you like to add yours, please? Okay, we have
It'll
one.
get to me if it gets to him.
Okay, if it gets to you, I will get.
His email address is his name at hisname.com.
Okay.
And there are your photos.
Oh man, look at those. We look pretty awesome. Okay, there you go. Photo. Photo for you. And one for my MINECON scrapbook. Yay! Thanks, guys. We'll hand that to you. Hi. Are you having fun here at MINECON today?
Yes, really fun.
What's been your favorite thing so far?
Probably the card game.
The card game, awesome. So you were playing at the Mattel booth. Did you do pretty well in the card game?
Not too well.
But you still loved it?
Yeah.
Awesome. I like to hear that because I've been working on that card game for a while, so I'm glad that you're having fun playing it. You want to wave and say hi to everybody? Awesome. Can I have a hug? Oh, I guess we'll do a photo too. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Let's keep going over here. We can go into the lava section and see what's happening. We can turn very orange. It looks like kind of like we're in the nether now with the orange tint to everything. So once again, what do you want to do at MINECON? You want to play Minecraft, so this booth makes a perfect way for you to come and enjoy it with friends. So we have tons of people playing on the Xbox, and I think there's actually some PlayStations hiding in here. Maybe that's over here. Yes, so we have some PS4s. So this is really cool because it's quite extraordinary. The Microsoft booth, they work together with Sony to have some Sony PlayStations in the booth. So kind of monumental. Minecraft is bringing the world together.
Thank you, Lydia, for that little tour of the Microsoft area, which is just behind us there.
Can you see it?
Yes, if you can hear us, Lydia, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. And
Lovely
so nice
tour.
to see somebody from Make-A-Wish as well. I mean,
yeah,
some real days being made
well,
there.
Adam giving out that golden ticket, like he said, there are 25 golden tickets for 10,000 attendees. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's huge. And a go on HoloLens, which is always a bonus.
Which is something we didn't get. We definitely didn't.
We don't
get
talk
it.
about that.
Yes, all right, let's move on. We're joined in the studio now by LD Shadow Lady and Smallish Beans. And our lovely studio producer has written, they're a couple that met gaming on our screen. Thank you very much for that, Sam. Cheers.
This kind of sums them up. I think
yes.
there's slightly more to them than just that, obviously.
No, that's all. We're just a couple that met gaming.
That's it. Hello, it's like
Thanks for
surprise,
that, guys.
surprise with
Great
Cilla Black or
chatting.
something.
And now
This is
you,
a couple
now
that
you
met
drop it. Oh, we make YouTube videos as well, and we go, oh, do you?
That's something to chat about, of course. MINECON 2015, how has it been for you so far? Sadly, we're at the home stretch now, aren't we? We don't want it to end, but it is. Have you enjoyed yourselves?
Yeah, it's been amazing, but I don't think anything has topped the opening ceremony so far. Like, nothing has been better than that.
The element animation.
The opening animation was
Oh my
amazing.
gosh, that was so good.
my favorite part.
I was really excited watching it. I was like,
Yeah. I think it really, we said ourselves, it really set the tone for the rest of the weekend, didn't it? Yeah. It was like, this is how it's going to be. Fun, funny, creative. Yeah, it was great.
Quite
Just like-
London-y.
yeah,
like
the
the-
whole of MINECON looks amazing. Like, all the scenery and stuff is so cool.
You got a favourite area?
I like the park. The park looks really good.
Yeah, I like the
Am I-
trees. Just the trees.
Very British.
They're everywhere.
What was cool for us, because we're quite elevated and we look out over it, we saw the shutters go up and we saw all the people that had been in the opening ceremony run in. And
Oh, wow.
a lot of people ran in and stopped and went, like, they were overwhelmed by it. So
And
it's
then,
really nice.
and then they claimed a bench. It was like-
I did say to Greg, because it's obviously like a Westminster kind of park, because actually if it was any other park, there'd be a bit of graffiti. It's really clean.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, for a British
No-
park.
no
Yeah, there's
pictures.
lots to do in the park as well. There's like little mini games and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you ever go on any of them?
Not yet. I think I'd be embarrassed to because I think I would just lose. Like,
Yeah, the-
I'd completely miss the things I'm supposed to be throwing it at.
Yeah, the kids are like incredibly good at the mini games, and every time we like record them for videos and stuff, we're getting beat by like kids who are like 10 years younger than us, but just destroying us at like Hunger Games and things like that.
However, in real life Hunger Games, LD Shadow Lady, you're pretty awesome with a bow. I've seen that more than once.
In real life Hunger Games?
No, on Hunger Games in Minecraft.
You've been here too long
Not
if
in
you're
real
calling
life.
this real life.
The two
I
worlds
remember
are blurring
that.
together.
You remember when you like fought a load of teenagers? Like,
Remember when you killed all those people, Lizzie?
I can do Hunger Games sometimes. I have good games and bad games. I'm not any pro by any means. What about you?
My Hunger Games videos are normally just rage compilations of me dying multiple times. So me just getting angry and stuff. So not the best at Hunger Games, I'd say.
Who's the best? Is it Ant Venom? Would you say he's the best at Hunger Games?
I think Vic
he's
Star's
Oh
really
yeah, Vic
good.
Star's really good at Hunger
okay.
Games. Yeah.
He's a good rager though as well, isn't he, Ant Venom? He likes to. He can get angry
he's
when he
got
wants
a lot of testosterone because obviously he lives in like a YouTuber house with a lot of guys.
True,
So obviously
true.
like his testosterone levels are a lot higher
Yeah.
than say if he was on his own. He's got to
There
up
is
his
that.
game.
Actually,
you know.
more often than not with Ant Venom, he turns on his own team. I've seen that more than once.
Yeah, he's bad for that.
Yeah.
So just
yeah.
don't ever
Never,
trust Ant
yeah,
Venom.
never team with Ant Venom.
It's a good life lesson, I think.
So if we're looking back over the weekend, we've all got a lot of memories, I'm sure.
A lot of
A
memories.
favourite memory, a favourite moment.
You go first.
I'd have to say the opening ceremony still. I still like when the explosion at the beginning. We
Yeah.
both thought, is that meant to happen? And then it's like, okay, yeah, it was meant to
Wait,
happen.
I love the trust.
very-
It looks like obviously something's gone really
Well,
wrong.
Lydia acted quite well. She looked genuinely shocked. I was like,
really
maybe that
nicely
wasn't gonna
timed, wasn't it? Really nicely timed.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Did you see the live show last night?
We saw a little bit
Yeah.
at the beginning. Yeah, it was
Oh,
really
the
impressive.
cosplay contest, that was my favourite.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry, it
the-
took me a while to think about it, but that was my
Yeah, the
favourite.
silverfish was brilliant. I
Yeah, it's
loved it.
fantastic, wasn't it? Really effective, actually, considering it's just a guy crawling on the floor.
I think we should also give a bit of a shout out to obviously Spider jockey team and the guy who basically is like, why were you on top? And he's like, because he's fat. And you're like,
Yeah.
that was really hard.
Oh.
He just sold his partner down the river. You're like, don't say that. I mean, you might think that, but don't say it out loud. That's really hard.
But it was quite sweet when they came back on stage.
They'd swapped.
So they were definitely sharing the
Yeah.
burden, I think.
I was going to say, there's a secondary level to MineCon, especially for you guys, the YouTube community. This is where you all get to come together and see your mates who you maybe make films with from, over the Atlantic or in parts of Europe. Is it nice to get together and see some familiar faces? Do a lot of collaborations happen or get organised here?
Yeah, I think the only time we really ever see other YouTubers is at conventions. So it's really nice to just all go into like the green room and be like, oh, it's you, and then just kind of catch up because I don't have a lot of time to see what they're doing on real life a lot of
Yeah.
the time. So we can catch up and.
It's kind of cool as well because there's YouTubers here that even like we're fans of, so it's like kind of nice to meet some people that you're like, oh, like you get a bit fanboy inside,
Did
but
you?
you've got
Yeah.
that cool on the
Like,
outside.
who,
obviously.
tell us who you fanboyed over. Let's hear it.
Well, the Achievement Hunters, like I was a massive fan of Rooster Teeth, so I saw them in the green room. I was too scared to go and say anything, but I just
didn't
walked
say
past it. I
anything?
was like, oh look, there's Jeff. I was just
We
like,
had Jeff on stage for a build battle, and he didn't do very well.
He wasn't
maybe,
too
okay.
bad. He wasn't terrible. But he could have done better.
You could tell that he enjoys the game so much. He was just kind of enjoying being there.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
Didn't
Yeah.
have to drive to really
Yeah.
succeed.
Yeah, I'll build a dragon.
We've spoke a lot about really obviously successful YouTubers here at MineCon that have been meeting the fans and talking on panels and stuff like that. Have you met any, or are you aware of any YouTubers that are up and coming that you're quite fond of, that you think could be popular, maybe just as popular at the next MineCon, perhaps?
Anyone kind of popped on your radar?
Someone that's not at this MineCon, I don't think she's ever been to MineCon, but Afmao is a female YouTuber from the US. She's getting really popular right now, and she's got some really awesome content on her channel. So I would say this time next year, she's going to be huge.
Okay.
her husband's like a coder, and he creates some incredible mods
Yeah.
and maps and stuff in Minecraft. We played a Five Nights at Freddy's Minecraft map with her recently,
Wow.
and it was just amazing how like detailed and well done it was. It was really cool.
You sort of forget how much it's all about, like with YouTube, it's all about collaboration. It really, really is. It's like, not just, between the individual kind of YouTubers, but that's what a perfect, marriage made in heaven. You've got someone who can make these incredible maps and someone who can be entertaining while playing them, It's all about teamwork, like you guys.
Yes,
Teamwork.
I'd say us, Gar, we've been a team.
Yeah,
We've
we've become a
team.
crew. We're a crew now.
We got really upset
Yes.
that we weren't part of any crew, so we just made one.
Yeah,
Do you want to be part of our crew? Oh, that went down
no
well.
pressure, guys. I think that said everything, didn't it? It was unanimous as well, both.
So
We'll
maybe.
join if we have to. I mean, if you can't get anyone else, then I guess.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Shadow Lady was like nudging Beans. Don't say.
Right, I think we should go now. This is
No,
getting
we
really
have
awkward.
something else to do. We can't join the crew.
So, are you heading home tonight or tomorrow? Are you going to stay?
Yeah, we're driving back tonight later
Right.
on, so.
It's a
I'm
4-hour
driving, so
drive.
it's going to be fun, interesting.
be
'cause we're all the
asleep
way
in
up
the back
north.
seat.
You don't share the drive.
Well, it's a manual car, and she only drives automatic, so it's not really
get out of jail
you don't
free.
think you planned it like all those years ago when she started learning to drive.
Oh yeah, it's totally not because I was too lazy or anything.
Does an event like this inspire you to like rush home and start making videos?
Yeah, like all the stuff I've seen here today. Well, I can't exactly rush home and make a video on the story
Rush
mode
home and
thing
sleep
that's
is the
coming
first.
out, but when that comes out, I will rush to play that.
It feels like, you know, we're talking a lot about the Telltale game and how it sort of feels like it's taken a lot of influence from kind of like the YouTube side about kind of all going on like big adventures together. It's sort of, it's like a love letter to you guys in some regards, right?
Yeah, it's really, the storyline is really cool, and it's like YouTubers do that too when they have a series with a storyline. They come up with like little machinimas and stuff, and I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I think, was it The Shadow of Israfel that the Yogscast did originally? Like, it kind of reminded me of that in a way. Like, that was a massive story sort of thing, which was hugely popular. So.
See, they've shown it now. They need to get a move on. They've given us a date. They've shown us the characters. They've shown us the style.
I think we're getting the first episode this year, which is good to know.
Promise?
Yeah, they announced it during the panel. They said they're going to get the first episode this year, maybe the second as well. They're not too sure yet.
Wow.
So that's good to know.
And the cool thing with it being obviously episodic is like in between, like if there's, they were talking about getting sort of fan feedback as well, like listening to them, and that's the cool thing. They can kind of change things a little bit as they go because they haven't just got to bring out like one whole full game. They can kind of just change things. I mean, what would you like to see in the game that maybe they didn't say? Like, what would you like to see in there?
I would like to see some puns, some maybe accidental puns in the game.
I'll be like looking forward to seeing some like crazy builds. I really like looking at builds that people have done and stuff like that. So if it's a professional story game, I presume there'll be some amazing things to look at in the game.
Well, guys, I've just been told that we're heading over to the main stage pretty soon because Dan, TDM, is going to be doing his live adventure. I'm sure you guys have seen him perform before on the stage at other events, and we were just discussing how intriguing and exciting and
Trying to find out what he was going to do, but he was having none of it, apparently.
He's a master. He's brilliant at it,
Yeah.
and they're lovely and experiences to watch, aren't they?
Yeah, to do it all with no mistakes as well is like,
And in front of
I don't
so
know how
many
he does
people.
it.
Yeah, I'd be
'Cause we always
terrified.
mess up.
In fact, I think we want to. It'd be nice for us all to head over and watch, actually, if we can get chance. Oh, Matt's already gone.
Keep doing these
Back
ones
me
where
a
we just
seat,
leave.
Matt. Near the front, okay?
You haven't clocked off yet, all right?
Okay, we're
He's
quite.
gone.
He's gone. He does that a lot. Okay, so we'll quite happily be back very soon, but right now we're going to go over to the main stage to check out Dan TDM, aka the Diamond Minecart. Enjoy.